The moment you step onto the path of spiritual awakening, you expect light, peace, freedom. That's what you've been told. That's what the books, the quotes, and the perfectly filtered social media posts promised you. They painted it as this beautiful unfolding into higher consciousness, a serene transformation where your problems vanish. Your mind becomes still. Life simply clicks into place. But here's what they never tell you. Before the light comes, there's darkness. And not just a little shadow creeping at the edge. I'm talking about a darkness so deep, so raw, that it shakes the very foundations of who you think you are. It's the kind of transformation that feels like destruction before it feels like growth. And the truth is, most people aren't ready for that part. That's why so many turn back before they truly awaken. Because awakening doesn't just change you, it dismantles you. No one warns you about the collapse that comes first. One day, the things you believed in start to crack. The things you built your identity around begin to fall apart. Beliefs you thought were unshakable suddenly feel hollow. Habits you used to rely on no longer bring comfort. People you once felt deeply connected to now seem distant. Like you're speaking two different languages. It's not because something went wrong in your journey. It's because the old version of you can't survive the awareness you're stepping into. Imagine wearing a shirt you've outgrown. It's tight. It's uncomfortable. You can't move freely. That's your old identity. Awakening is the moment you realize you have to take it off. But no one tells you that taking it off can feel like stripping away your own skin. And then comes the loneliness. You wake up in a world where most people are still asleep. Conversations that once felt lively now feel shallow, empty. You find yourself nodding along, while inside you're thinking, there's so much more to life than this. But you can't force others to see what you see. You can't drag them into awareness. And so, you walk with this quiet understanding that separates you from the crowd. At first, it feels like isolation, like you've been pulled away from the warmth of belonging. But as time goes on, you realize this solitude is shaping you. It's teaching you to stand in your truth without needing a crowd to validate it. It's showing you the path forward, a path that might not always be filled with company, but will always be filled with truth. Still, it's not just mental shifts you go through. Awakening shakes you emotionally. People rarely talk about the emotional purge, the sudden bursts of sadness, the unexplained anger, the moments where you just feel like crying for no reason. It's like your mind and body are digging up every old wound you've buried, dumping it all out. So you have no choice but to face it. And it's exhausting. You might even wonder, am I going backwards? But you're not. You're releasing. These emotions aren't there to punish you. They're here to clear you, to pull out the roots of pain so deep you didn't even know they were still shaping your choices. It's messy. It's rarely beautiful in the moment. But it's the kind of healing that leaves you lighter than you ever imagined. The hardest part? Awakening demands you give up comfort. You start seeing the truth in places you used to hide from. Jobs, relationships, and routines that once felt safe now feel suffocating. Your comfort zone becomes a cage. And even though you want freedom, stepping out feels terrifying. Humans are wired to cling to the familiar, even when it's toxic. That's why the dark side of awakening can feel like a cruel twist. You finally see the cage for what it is, but now you have to find the courage to leave it. And once you do, there's no going back. You can't unsee what you've seen. Another shift happens. You start noticing patterns you never saw before. You see the manipulation in words, the hidden motives in actions, the way systems keep people small. It's empowering, but also isolating in a different way. Because when you stop playing the game, people notice. Some will resent it. They'll say you've changed, and they won't mean it as a compliment. That's because your awareness disrupts the roles they expect you to play. You're no longer the version of you that tolerated being drained, used, or underestimated. You're harder to control now. And that scares people who depend on control. All of this, the collapse, the loneliness, the emotional purge, the loss of comfort, the shift in power. This is the dark side no one warned you about. It's not the Instagram version of awakening. It's not the soft, glowing path. It's gritty. It's uncomfortable. It's days where you question everything, including yourself. But here's the truth. This darkness isn't a sign you're failing. It's proof you're evolving. It's the part where the old you dies, so the real you can live. It's the tunnel you have to walk through to get to the light. And it's not meant to be easy. It's meant to strip away everything that's not truly yours. If you're in that tunnel right now, wondering if you've made a mistake, hear this. You haven't. The discomfort you're feeling is the weight of an old self falling away. The confusion is your mind rearranging itself around a deeper truth. The loneliness is your heart making space for connections that align with the person you're becoming. And the loss you're grieving is actually clearing room for a freedom you've never experienced before. Yes, awakening has a dark side, but that darkness is also a forge. It's shaping you into someone who doesn't just survive life, but truly lives it. With clarity, with courage, with a sense of self that can't be shaken. You're not here to go back to sleep. You're here to step fully into who you are, no matter how uncomfortable that process feels. And one day, you'll look back and realize the darkness wasn't the enemy. It was the teacher that prepared you for the light. If this connected with you, thank you for staying until the end. Like and subscribe, not just because it helps this channel, but because the next time you feel lost on this path, you'll have a reminder that you're not walking it alone.